Hello, traders. Gary Wagner with WFGForex.com, your daily market update for Forex Gold. It is Tuesday, the 25th day of May, and this is the Daily Report. Gold is trading higher this morning, currently at 1196, 1197. It has tested and touched the waters of 1200. I don't really look at that as resistance anymore. On today's report, we will be covering a couple of things. We'll be looking at the euro dollar as it's spread against gold. We'll be looking at this chart right in here, which is US dollar as it's spread against gold. We'll be talking about our stops and possibly trailing those up, as well as my interim view on the market. You notice that I've put up my Elliott wave count right now. For traders who've been following us, this is nothing new. We are currently in and getting out of this wave 4. I want to spend a moment and take a look at the big picture because you notice I haven't put in wave 5 yet. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a couple of moments. If we start over where we went to our 5th wave, and that is this wave right up in here, you notice that here we start our what we call our corrective phase. So we have our corrective wave down A, our impulse B, and then the bottom of the market when everything washes out, when we get to our C wave. That completes the cycle and we begin anew. In a bullish market, of course, we're going to have a series of impulse waves to the upside, waves 1, 3, and then 5, and of course our corrective waves, which are going to be waves 2 and 4. Now, the reason I bring it up is I want to take a look at our corrective wave 2 in a little bit more detail. If you notice, it didn't really come straight down. We had what's called a classic zigzag pattern within that wave. So it went something like this: down, it zigzagged up, and then it corrected down. Let me try to put that in there. My question is, and we'll look to see this over the next couple of days, because we had such a steep and quick drop before the market began to recuperate, my question is, are we going to see similar activity? Meaning, zigzag down, a zig up, down, and then go into our 5th wave. Now, you notice I've added in a cyan color the zigzags that we've seen, or the shorter interim moves in these longer term waves. So my question becomes, is the market going to just take straight off and run higher, or will we find some sort of resistance? And although I don't believe 1200 is resistance, will that be a point in which we'll see the market move back down and back up? We are currently in a long position. I'm very, very comfortable about that. We're going to go to the boards in a second about that to show you how the euro dollar is performing and to show you how the US dollar is performing vis-a-vis against gold on both of them. Now, fundamentally, we do have a couple of things that I think are worth noting today. First of all, in terms of option expiration day, first day came up today. That's typically a day where you'll see the market come under pressure and actually have liquidations of positions. You'll see the market go lower. We are certainly not witnessing that today. As I said, we're currently trading 1198, 1197. It's been as high as around 1200. We have also had a pretty tremendous low around 1185, 1186, somewhere in that area. Apparently, there's a little bit of sable rattling, I will call it, over due to Korea, both south and north, having an issue with a warship that was sunk. And we are also still dealing with the fact that gold has become a currency. That's what I've been talking about for the last couple of months. It's the safe haven or currency of choice. We have an economic scenario still brewing in Europe that's certainly not been resolved. We have potential conflict, although I really look at that as a knee-jerk reaction. in the marketplace. But what I do find interesting is on a day when we should see pressure in the market, we are seeing the market trade higher. You notice I have put up our big board, our board in which we note positions that we have, and we also talk about stops. We are going to be moving stops tighter today. First of all, Euro Gold currently trading at 174, 175. We had that interesting pattern, that Three River Morning Star. And we currently do have confirmation on that, as well as in the U.S. gold, in which I'm looking at confirmation. We have a smaller candle. I'd like to see it be a large-bodied candle, but we do have both a higher low and a higher high, higher low and a higher high in both markets. What I'm finding interesting is that the Euro Gold is again, outperforming the U.S. gold. As you can see, this is just for illustration purposes, 50 ounces of each, 1183.70. They're put on at the same time, 946.43. Unrealized profits, 730 in the U.S. gold and 1753 in the Euro gold. Let's talk about moving our stops up. The only thing that really makes sense to me, we've got to play these stops loose, traders. There is so much volatility in this market that I'm almost hesitant to move up stops, but at the same time, we cannot trade effectively, A, without stops, and B, without trailing them up. That's my belief. I work hard to create profits for our subscribers, and I hate to see them get eroded when we're correct about a market moving up and then it just moves against us. So here's what I'm looking at. We currently have our stop right here at 924, and I apologize for the typo in the newsletter which said 1124. I'm going to correct that today. My recommendation is to move that to 940 on a stop. What I'm looking at is placing it under these two real bodies, and that should give us some support. If the market wants to come back down, depending on where you got in, the risk factor is greatly reduced. If the market continues to run, of course, we're going to trail that up and we're going to lock in some profits. Secondly, let's take a look at our U.S. dollar as it's spread against gold. My recommendation is to move that to 1180 on a protective stop. Traders, if you look at the board, you see these are the open positions in which I will track our stop placement, and you can see that I have moved our stop on our Euro Gold to 940 and on our U.S. Gold to 1180. That's 1180 on a protective stop. This has been Gary Wagner with WFGForex.com, your daily market update for Forex Gold. As always, wishing you good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Wednesday. Bye-bye.